early. Oh, what the heck? What the heck? It's going to be one of those shows, guys. I meant to put it in studio mode because I wanted to copy a thing. Oh, who cares? How are you? What a fool. Oh, what a fool I am. Great to see you. Now, hang on one second. I've got to do what I had to do so that I can see everybody. There we are. That's what I was trying to do. That's better. I can see you now. There you are. How are you guys? Oh, what an absolute numpty. Wow. Well, it looks like there's only one of you watching me. according to YouTube. Oh, there we are. There it is. That's all good. How are you? How is your Monday? Wow, how are you, brother? Good to see you, my friend. Let me just increase the size of that. That's perfect. And so the PC didn't crash. It was what it was that I've been running. I have been getting crashes today whilst playing Starfield. So I thought I might as well run Restoro or tweaking.com or whatever it is that I run to try and just clean the machine up so it wouldn't crash again. And of course, in doing that, I hadn't thought that it might want to restart at the end, which I was live. What an absolute numpty. So anyway, it all happened. It's good. I have a clean machine, just like Mr. David Essex. He once had a clean machine. I can't remember the rest of the lyrics to the song. How was your weekend? I hope it was good. Oh, look at that. My cushion is now visible. The reason I've got a cushion behind me, guys, is not because I've got a bad bag. It's because this chair, when I do this show, it gets really hot in here. You have to imagine I'm in it's like a 7 foot by 6.5 feet box, right? With all sorts of lighting and monitors and stuff. And it gets incredibly hot. I mean, it's like 30 degrees. And with just the leather of the chair, it gets a little bit sticky. So I put a little cushion there just to, keep me distanced from the probably fake leather in truth. But any road up, that's what it is. So what have you been up to? Let me know in the chat. I've been playing a lot of Starfield. I say a lot. I guess I've put in probably about 12, 13 hours. Not a lot. Cool, way scorcher. Hello, Sam. How are you? It is a scorcher. It's beautiful down here. I think it's quite nice across the whole UK. We've kind of got what they used to call an Indian summer, which I've always assumed was more to do with the continent of India, or the country of India, rather than anything to do with the old Wild West. Basically a late summer. But I don't think it's going to last forever. I think we've got it for a week, haven't we? And then we go back to autumn, or the fall, as they call it in America. So, I've been playing a bit of the old Starfield, which I'm glad. It's one of those games. I mean, look, I paid for it, so kind of, I know if I'd have just hung on, just hold on there, Rock. I mean, where are we? Wednesday. You can play it on Xbox. Yeah. And I think it's going to be great on there, quite honestly, because I don't know that there's anything hugely optimized for PC, other than you can run it in 4K, of course. Al has been training an Al Pierce Brosnan voice. It's funny that you mentioned this, Al. I have also been doing a lot of voice training and cloning today, interestingly. What application are you using? I bought Voice Mod the other day, but that's not good enough for what I need. I've been using 11 Labs, and I've actually got it to clone my own voice. And it's done a really good job as well, so that I can. My idea is, by cloning my own voice, I can do rapid, say 3-minute videos on breaking gaming news, for example. So I can literally get the script written. I can use my cloned Rokk to do the voiceover, and I can pull stuff together in one of my applications. I've got a few at the moment going on, to pull in B-roll and stuff. So what would have taken me I don't know, 4 to 8 hours prior, I reckon I can get a 3 or 4 minute video out in an hour or two. Oh yeah, Music Fight. And the other one that does a similar thing, Al, which I've got a folder full of AI apps, is, I'm just flicking down here to remind me, it's Opus Clip. I think it's Opus. Let's have a look. No, it's not Opus Clip, beg your pardon. That ain't it. Oh, here it is. What did you say yours was called? Musicify. There's one called Singify. Sing-I-F-Y. It's actually got a really hideous URL. Oh, hang on. Let me pull it up. Let me get my studio thing going. I'll get Simple Larry. I'll show you. We did this the other day. Voicing. Oh, yeah, me too. If you watch back the members only show on Friday, you could see my thinking and some of the stuff that I've been doing. But what I'm trying to do is, and I've said it in the past, the route to rapidly growing or more rapidly growing a channel is with well, it doesn't matter if it's long form or short form, but pre-recorded stuff. It was good. It was good fun, wasn't it, Sam? I enjoy the Fridays. And the live stuff that we do, for me, this is just us as mates. The audience hasn't grown the live audience hasn't grown. In fact, it's gone backwards a little bit. Rock Show on a Tuesday used to get the best audience because it had a fantastic cast. And what I found is that most of you lovely people that come to this one, of course, are members, which is great. I mean, that's brilliant. I've got a fan, and I'm not going to lie. I'm truly humbled by my membership base. It's just amazing, and I'm quite happy to do my live show with just you guys every day because we're friends, right? But to grow the channel, I need to reach out, and to do that, I need to be more specific about content. Niche stuff, and also it just won't be. Oh, thank you, Sam, for halfway around the sun. Bless you for renewing on 6 months. To do that, yeah, it's got to be niche, and it's got to be pre-recorded because that's what YouTube likes. It's much happier to promote the algorithms and all the rest of it. So the problem I have is time and energy. With my ongoing medical stuff. So I've been looking at how I can produce good quality, and you know what I'm like when it comes to production values. I just don't like doing stuff on a phone and banging it out. That's not what I do. So I've been working hard to find, and there's no one tool. It's the same as in anything. It's the same as with web development or graphic design or whatever. There's no one tool that does everything. So and there are new AI tools coming out literally every week. So it's important to kind of build up an arsenal, kind of toolbox, which is what I've been doing. So, you kind of need to get a decent script writing application. You need one that works really well with video, that processes video in a really timely fashion. You need one that can do great voiceover work. And there's no one tool that does all those things well. But there are lots of disparate tools. The problem is it gets expensive because they all want $20 a month or whatever as a subscription. Some of them have got fewer. But the problem with AI, I think I said this on Friday, it's not like you can pay a fixed subscription and then just use something forever, because all of them use things like Microsoft Azure, for example, which is Microsoft's kind of server, a bit like Amazon Web Services. Microsoft Azure provides either hosting in its simple form, or it provides a ton of services that you can use as a provider of online services. For example, most of the people that offer voiceover technology are using the voices provided by Microsoft Azure. How do I know this? Because they're all called the same thing. And when you play them back, they all are the same voice. Now, the difference is in the software that has been written by the specific service to make that voice sound more or less human. So some services just throw it out and it's, hello, welcome to this video. They all start the same and end the same, like it would if it was a sat-nav. Whereas others go, hello, and welcome to this service. So they work on the intonation, but they charge more. So, you know, it's... But the point being is they've all got to pay for that use of those voices and the use of those services. So they're paying for compute cycles, the amount of time, the amount of tying up processors to do all that work. Now, it's pennies. You know, it's 0.06p or cents to do, you know, a thing. But if you then multiply that across hundreds of thousands of users, and you've got no idea how often they're going to use it either, for example, then, you know, you have to have a different model. And this is the point. So it's difficult because they've got to put up a model that everybody can instantly get their heads around, right? You know, they've got to say it's, you know, $20 a month or something and have that cover. But the problem is when you read what you get, it'll say for $20 a month, you get 30,000 credits. Gig to Sneak! Thank you, brother. 14 months. He's a granddaddy of Team Rokk. Thank you, my friend. Really appreciate you joining back up there, my friend. So they'll say you've got 30,000 credits. And then you say, what's a credit? And you've got to look into a credit. And a credit is, for example, up to 2,000 characters that it can read. That, you know, it gets complicated. And it's only when you start putting stuff together that you realize that a 4 or 5 minute video, for example, could use up a quarter of your monthly allotted amount. So yeah, it can get expensive. And the prices will come down because this is, you know, that these services have not had this much interest before as they do now in the whole ChatGPT stuff. See, OpenAI, who are the brains behind ChatGPT, which really I think is the one service that became the poster boy for AI. What they very cleverly did was they got investment very early from Microsoft. And Microsoft, as well as ploughing billions of dollars into OpenAI and predominantly ChatGPT, they also provided them with access to Microsoft Azure and other services at no cost. So they've been able to make hay and really go for development and also, of course, put it out there for free to build that ahead of Steam. They're doing okay. I mean, a lot of people have said, oh, you know, not so many people are using them. Well, probably not as much as they did when it was all over the newspapers and all over the all over the media about you can have it write your legal dissertation and all that stuff. But it's the point isn't so much how many people are using ChatGPT, it's how many people are using the APIs and the models to pull down the service into their own applications and pay for the privilege. And I believe I'm right in saying that their most recent turnover is about $2 billion, so they ain't doing so bad. He went down the wrong... See? A cloned rock. Wouldn't do that. Wowzer. Still alive. Now, what I was in the process of doing, and I will do it, it's... excuse me. Here it is. Let me just get this up. There it is. Perfect. And then make sure that... Simple Larry. I mean, it's a thing that you guys know I run a software development company. I'm not a software developer. My skill, I have two skills, if I'm honest. One is I'm a very fast problem solver. And you can wheel me into any meeting with any number of specialists and I'll be the boy that says the king ain't wearing clothes and come up with an idea that will work. The second thing I do very well is I keep one eye on the mid-range future, and that's why I started the first web development company south of London. We were also one of the first to do mobile app development, one of the first to do low-level Bluetooth, low-energy Bluetooth, beg your pardon. It's a thing I do, so AI is my thing at the moment. I just happen to be applying it more to this stuff than I am the company, although we are working on some AI projects at the moment. I know, Eddie, this is the thing. My fake rock wouldn't be coughing, you see. Right, let me just take it over for the benefit of Al to this. Now, Al, this is the one I wasn't looking at this, but I have looked at it because you obviously mentioned that you were looking at Musicify. This is Singify, although it's a really weird URL. It's singify.fineshare.com. But what I love about this, and I think we've got audio, maybe we don't. Let me get some audio on this a second. These are all obviously famous folk, but what this does, and it is free, is it applies their voice to a song of your choice. So you could say, I want Michael Jackson to sing, I don't know, a Foo Fighters song, for example. It's pretty cool. However, it is free, but you've got to use credits, which we mentioned earlier. And to get those credits, you have to do stuff, which is a model I have no issue with. But you see, it says 200. So, for example, you have to share this or share the link with a friend to get 2,000 credits, which means you can then apply to muck about for 10 of them. Let me just... I don't know that I'll get copyright struck for this, but we'll give it a go. I'm just going to add audio output. It's that one. Wavelength system. Oh, it should work. Why am I not seeing it on here then? Wavelength system Elgato 1. Maybe I've just hidden it. Okay, let's just try one. So let's turn off our music. There it goes. Let's try the Michael Jackson one. I can't remember when I put it on earlier. I don't know if they randomly get them to sing something or whether it's the same, but let's give it a go. I'm not sure if you guys are hearing this. It's quite good, actually. It's not bad, is it? I mean, it's not perfect, but it's not bad. You can't hear it. Okay, Eddie. Give me a second, my friend, and I'll see why this might be the case, because I've got my audio here. Unhide all, and we're looking for audio. There it is. That's the one I was after. Okay, let's try it again. Here we go. Michael Jackson singing. I think it's. Is it Bruno Mars? I'm not sure. Anyway, here it goes. Come on, Michael. No. You're still not hearing that, are you? Why is that then? Hang on a second. I'll choose a different value for the sound. Let's choose browser and give that a go. Here we go. My pride, my ego, my needs, and my selfish ways cause the good, strong woman like you to walk out my life. Now I'll never get to clean up the mess I have made. That bit's realistic. Whoops, sorry. That last bit's really good, but obviously they're matching it to, I'm assuming they're matching it to the original singer, which means that they're going to put a different spin on their voice than the original artist would. It's pretty clever, though. See what old let's see what old Billy's eyelashes sound like. I put Donald Trump on earlier. It was crap. It sounded nothing like him. I can't remember what he's singing. It's a rap song, I think, but it doesn't actually sound like him. Hang on.
There was this bully, right? Didn't you seem like a bully type? Walked right up to me and told me you look like a cookie bystander. I said you could be right, but me, I'm not the lucky type.
I'll put Patrick on. I'll put Patrick Star. What's fascinating is, I don't know what the songs they are, but it's just hearing them in a completely different environment.
You seem like a bully type. Walk right up to me and told me you look like a cookie bystander. I say you could be right, but me, I'm not the lucky type. So
it's the same song that Trump was applied to. Who else we got here? Eminem. I just put an Eminem video up yesterday. Was it yesterday or was it Saturday? It was yesterday. On my rock and pop channel. And actually, I'm really proud of my Eminem video. I put literally about 12 hours into it. So much for AI, but it's not doing as good as the Ren one is ridiculous. It's got about 4,000 views, masses of comments. I mean, he's clearly man of the moment. Do you think Eminem would still be? But I guess there's so much Eminem content out there, and it's got new. I advertise it as with never before seen footage, which is true because it was generated by AI. I mean, it's absolute fact. Yeah, he's incredibly popular. Although he just brought his latest single, Sam, which is called Masochist, and it's. I put a little short up on the channel which explains the song, because it's basically from beginning to end, kill, murder, kill God, kill Jesus. And I said, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but it's I think it's his John Lennon moment. Do you remember when John Lennon was, when the Beatles were set to fly out to America, and Lennon said at that time they were bigger than Jesus? I mean, he was a comedian. He was from Liverpool. That's what they do. But it wasn't taken very well in the States. Of course, they banned the tour, some of the tour. I think it had to be called off early. There were record burning sessions and stuff. And I just have a fear. What Masochist is actually about is metaphors. He wrote it a couple of years back when he was in a really bad mental state, and he just wanted everything to be burned down and destroyed, and fresh start and stuff. But it doesn't come across obviously. So the problem is if you could see it going viral for the wrong reasons. I'm a little bit worried. I don't know. I mean, I don't see it as an issue as an album track. I'm not sure I would have highlighted it as a single, particularly as the last one's only been out about 2 weeks, and it's absolutely flipping brilliant. Right, let's have a listen to Eminem.
But I still wanna party. Green feel like I'm ready to blend. I'm a 10, so I fill in a can. White, Dazzy, space, eat the cue card. All of the barbers is pretty.
It just sounds like a voice. I mean, he's higher pitched than that anyway. Anyway, yeah, so Al says, with Musicfy, see, this is the thing though, Al, isn't it? We're all looking for different solutions for different problems. So I don't particularly have a need for any kind of music solution. Oh, this looks pretty. Meet your AI music assistant. There's so many of these. And do you know what I love as well? They're all taking this minimalist screen style, which is very much, again, driven from the original ChatGPT look. They probably haven't gone quite as typographic as many of them have. But I really applaud that, because this is quite a complicated subject for a lot of people to kind of grasp anyway. And I think it just doesn't need a complicated sell. Meet your AI music assistant. Create, could be Al actually, couldn't it, Al? Could be create Al tracks. In fact, if you look at your name, it could be AI Davis. As well. You can train a voice with 5 to 10 minutes minimum of voice input, and that would that sing? So, I suppose I should just read it, shouldn't I? AI voice conversion. Explore our collection of copyright-free vocals to give your songs a new sound. Oh, I like that. Create your own AI. Easily upload your vocals to create your own. See, this is the point, Al, isn't it? We're getting to a point where professional musicians, professional designers, professional actors, professional voiceover artists, they are becoming redundant. What's going to still be needed for some time is the creativity at the back of that. But as we know in the real creative world, you've got your Celine Dion and your Mariah Carey, but they don't write the music. Right? Those guys that write the stuff, they're still going to be making the money, but they're not going to bother with going to Celine Dion, particularly if you're a DJ, like these DJs that, like Avicii, who wrote amazing music, and then he would collaborate with a session singer or somebody who's just getting their career off the boards to, vocalize on a track. But they don't need to do that anymore. I mean, this is how good this stuff is getting now. Create your own AI, easily upload your vocals to create your own AI models, stems, splitters, isolate the tracks. Oh, one Music Fire. I think this might be the application. There's one guy who I really like who does reaction videos for Ren, and he doesn't do them live. So he pulls the song into software. I think it might be this out, which then splits all the tracks, right, or splits all of the, what you call them? It's tracks, isn't it? So you have the music, you have the voice, the vocals, you have backing, you have the effects, you have the different instruments. And then he's able to say, right, if you turn that off, you can now hear the beat, dum, 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 and see how it changes. And then this is when his voice goes up and stuff. It's really clever. Maybe it's this. Is this the end for artists? I've also seen this a lot as well. There's a lot of these AI outfits that are making a big thing about ethical business practices, and that they don't want to put people out of work. I'm sure they don't. What is generative AI? So yeah, generative AI can be applied to anything, really. It can be text, it can be image, it can be video, but it basically is where AI generates the content. So ChatGPT is a generative big language model. It works from a huge input of information that has been fed into it for years and continues to be, that it can then go to very rapidly and pull in specific information and generate what you need. Everyone with a voice can sing, Eddie, just some people can't do it very well. But then you see auto-tune. And a lot of these, you can just put your voice in and it will auto-tune it. That thing I bought last week does that. If you can't hold a tune in a bucket, it will auto-tune it for you. Ghost Treads! AI changed the world. No, genuinely is. I think, as well, might get a little bit heavy here. I don't mean to be. One of the factors, without a shadow of a doubt, this is not me making it. Good day, all. Hey, Adam, how are you, bro? One of the factors behind the rise of the far right globally is change. Because I've said this, if you were to draw a chart of change, if such a thing could be drawn, because, it's a bit more than that, isn't it? It's social change, political change, evolutionary change, physical change. If you put a chart together of change and you go back 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years, then the change was so slow, generation to generation, it was virtually imperceptible. It happened so slowly. Nobody saw it. It did have these massive changes, agriculture, and then invasion, which brought new kings and lords and stuff. But over time, over the last 1,000 years maybe, you can see how the change is ramping up faster and faster. Now, 1,000 years from a species that has been around for quite some time is a blip. And we haven't evolved to handle change at the same pace. And you go over the last 124 years, and change has been ridiculously rapid. Since you guys, most of you guys were born at a time when computers and gaming systems and streaming video services and stuff were either embryonic, already existed. As you know, I'm an old, I was going to say an F word then, a fart. And, that stuff didn't exist when I was a kid. It was just coming in, but it didn't exist. So for my parents and grandparents, again, they had change. The world wars were massive changes. The end of Queen Victoria, 1901, and everything else was a huge change. But over the last 100 years, it's gone boom, 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 boom. We're now at a point where changes are happening so rapidly that I fear that we are going to end up with, I cannot, the far right, and by that I mean people by and large driven. No, whether you're right wing or left wing in politics is irrelevant. It's like religion. Whether you're religious or you're not religious is irrelevant. What's relevant are the people that are at the top of the religion or the top of the politics, and what they're trying to do for their own selves, right? Because that's the problem. The grifters, whether it's religion, whether it's politics, whether it's business. And the majority of people suffer, and because we ultimately are a species that needs to be led. That's why we live. Hey, nerds, well, great to see you, my friend. I hope you're keeping well, brother. We are a species that needs to be led. We are a social animal. We've always lived in communities, which may pair out to go off and do hunting and stuff, but it comes back for security and emotion and so on into a community. And therefore, people naturally assume the leadership role, and we naturally allow them to. Some of us are apex or alpha, and we need to be the boy, the girl at the top, but most of us aren't, and most of us are just looking for good, leadership with humility, which makes it very easy for people who know the psychology of societies and cultures to manipulate that for their own ends. And this is what worries me. And change is a massive factor. When there is change, whenever there has been change in history, it has led to the rise of authoritarianism. Look at Hitler. AI is causing a lot of ethical problems. Yeah, you're absolutely right, my friend. For AI to work, we need to collect the big database. Yeah, the content is, but already we're seeing copyright lawsuits aimed at trying to change that, failing. Some really interesting one that OpenAI, the ChatGPT guys, won the other day against an author, which you probably want to seek it out. They say, well, we don't reproduce copyrighted material in its exact form. It is changed, and it is that change that is fair use, or no idea is original. Look, the theme tune, bringing it back to gaming, the theme tune to Starfield, which I love, right? But because I've been playing it a fair bit, yesterday, I was sat there singing. There was a film in the 1950s or 60s called Hans Christian Andersen. I believe it was called that, and it had Danny Kaye as the aforementioned Hans Christian. It had some beautiful songs in. It was a really lovely children's movie, and there's one song where they're in school, and it's right at the very beginning of the movie, and Hans, as he's called in the film, is, he's a bit of an idle shoemaker or whatever, and the village are getting fed up with him, and because he keeps taking the kids away from school and telling them stories, and he goes off to make his fortune and what have you, right? So all these kids are doing their classes, and Danny Kaye's trying to lure them away. There's a song which goes something like 4x4 is, it might be 2x2. 2x2 is 4. 4x4 is 8. 8x8 is 16. 16 and 16 is 32. Of course, they were being taught binary. They didn't even know it. But the bars of that theme tune, of that music, is very close to the opening bars of Starfield, which is my point. So this thing has been earworming me all weekend. I even put it on Spotify I said, hey, Little Rock, Arkansas, have you heard this tune? She said, oh yeah, I've heard that. She actually thought it was a bit spooky. So, 1960s. But then I fired Starfield up and I heard that. I thought, that's why I had that in my head, because it sounds like it. Now, I'm not, it's a beautiful piece of music, and I forget the name of the composer. It's Ion Xena or something. And I don't for 1 minute think he was influenced by watching Danny Kaye. But my point is, there's only so many notes. There's only so many words, right? The originality comes from what you do with them. But with music specifically, there are always going to be chords or even lyrics that sound very similar to other bits of music. And some people will openly say, Ren is a classic example, openly say, yeah, I've been influenced a lot by da-da-da-da and da-da-da-da and so on. Ryan! How are you, dude? And the thing, this is the thing that the ChatGPT AI community is saying. They're saying, well, yeah, we're taking a lot of that source material as root, but it only feeds into the creative process. It's not being regurgitated. Now, this isn't always the case with the image stuff, like Midjourney. There's a ton of them, Leonardo, and so on. Because same thing, they generate their content based on pulling images from a vast database. So, if you put in, draw me Superman doing this, this, and this, the Superman has to be from a reference material if it looks anything realistic. And therefore, there are all the poses in the world ever for Superman that are well known have been drawn by somebody and copyrighted. And when a generative image AI program recreates that, it has to be based pretty much identically on what someone else has done. And this is the difficult piece. I genuinely don't know the answer. I think either it has to be killed off on the basis of copyright. It can't be done. Or copyright as a law has to be overhauled, which is bad news for creatives. Because, of course, it means the days of being able to say, I've put my book into an envelope and posted it back to myself, and you can see by the stamp on the envelope that it went out before anybody else has written anything like it, therefore it is my copyright. Those days are over, because no one's going to care anymore. There'll be some stipulation that says, as long as 25% of the original material has been changed, it is fair use. Because at the moment, fair use is a very difficult concept to ratify, and it's not even called fair use in the UK either. I forget the term now, fair something, and it's even stricter in the UK. We just happen to be using the American implementation because, of course, most of the sites where we're doing the kind of fair use stuff is American. But Al, mate, as soon as you've done whatever you're doing, you need to do a video on it or something, or put out a link and let me know. Guys, if ever you do any content, your own channels or whatever, tag me. That's the best way. Tag me on X or Threads or wherever, and I will happily share that out, retweet it, and comment on it, and try and get you as many views as I can. Which ain't many, but one extra's a nice one, isn't it? That's how it goes. So there you go. That's all good, isn't it? AI, yeah. Oh, crikey. I mean, we can sit and deliberate and debate on AI forever. I think there could be some great uses of AI. I think one of the best uses of AI is going to come in the implementation of judgment in the judiciary. Because if you take out any political leanings, especially in the States, we know how easy it is now. We've seen it. I mean, Trump wrote the playbook, Trump and his enablers, on how you can, overturn a system and a society in your favor by placing, people that are sympathetic to your beliefs as judges, or on boards and in schools and things around the country. So for me, one of the greatest uses of this technology is going to be to replace the likes of a judge, because ultimately the law has to be binary. It either transgresses the written law or it doesn't, right? And if there's a case for precedence, then so be it. And maybe that's where appeal comes in. So an AI judge looks at the case, looks at the evidence provided, and it says, well, according to the law and according to these 55 previous cases, you definitely broke the law. And according to the rules set down, that requires a custodial sentence of 2 years. You've already served 6 months. in jail while you're waiting for your court appearance, therefore you've got 18 months to serve or whatever. You then get a right to appeal, bit like, I guess, the kind of goal line camera technology that you get in football or rugby, or I'm sure it exists in American football as well. And, you know, the camera says, no, definitely didn't go over the line or whatever, but you still get the right to appeal that. If you're absolutely convinced the camera's wrong, you can appeal it. Now, I guess it's going to be the same. But for me, that would, firstly, it would speed up the court system because you're not waiting on a judge on a circuit to become available. Right, so that gets out there nice and quick. So it speeds up the whole judicial thing. It also takes out this growing issue of political partisanship in the decisions that are being made. Crystal, she's home, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, bless. And youngest is off to college. Oh, wow. Lots of change in Crystal's life. I'm going to assume that the going off to college bit, as sad as it can be for all concerned, is a good thing, right? Raymond is in the house now. I wish I could make the little emojis bigger on screen. But that is I've tried messing about with the CSS. It don't happen none. But there you go, you see, at a very, very little domestic level, change, family change. There's the one thing about when you've got little children, and those of you that are parents with young children, you know, I know they can be a pain, you know, oh God, I haven't slept for days and all that stuff. But trust me, everybody says it, but it's so true. It goes past so fast. So fast. Before you know it, all your little ones, these are my AI links. Look, these are all the apps that I've got accounts with. Some of them I pay for. I'm experimenting. I paid to subscribe to one about a week ago for a month. It was about $25. And then a week later, I found a better solution. So I cancelled and subscribed. This is where it is. You know, it's like Nerds World. I think it was it Nerds? Earlier was saying that, you know, it is changing so fast. Just when, and this is a problem for the providers as well as it is for us, because just when they go out there and say, hey, look at our solution to do generative video, text to video or image to video or whatever, somebody else a week later comes back with a much, much better solution. And this is, if I was an investor, because this is another bubble that's taking place here, but I think this one's more relevant than the original web bubble. But if I was an investor, I'd be frightened to be putting money in at the pace of change right now. Because if you think about it logically, right, at the moment, all these apps are coming about, all these online tools to allow you to do stuff creatively. It's not going to be long before you can give it to AI to solve some of the issues and come up with a better mousetrap. And then it becomes like a daily situation. In a few weeks, I've got to go back to Ohio for my sister's wedding. How far, and what do? Fly or is it a bus journey? How far is it is it Michigan where you guys are based, and Ohio? I could bring up a map. I could do that. Let's do this map of the USA. The United States of America. Actually, the one we want is Google Earth, isn't it? I think, with one A, one E even. Let's bring that up. I haven't done Google Earth for a long time. The world's most detailed globe. Launch Earth. Can't I just do it from here? Do I have to launch it? What do you mean, launch it? What does that mean? Why did I have to do that? Look, I mean, it's just taken me to another web page. You can use Musicfy for pretty much any purpose. You get out what you put in. Yeah, this is, see, now these guys, the niche guys, Al, they're probably going to rule the roost for a bit. And I've seen a lot of other apps providers who are very cleverly, they've got their own base tag, but very cleverly they're pulling in APIs from other sources, other well-known providers like ChatGPT, but others, and augmenting their solution and maybe offering a slightly higher price bracket. So, you know, making you want to kind of stay there, as it were. Right, let's find, this is purely for the benefit of us non-American folk, Ohio. There it is. Let's zoom in. Yay. Right, let's just Ohio. And you guys, am I right in saying you're in Michigan? Just zipping down the chat here. Oh, plane. You're going to go by plane. And this time, so presumably last time, you went from a different mode of transport, did you? So I think it's Michigan that these guys are in. So let's see. Not even be able to see it from around, because it isn't far from there, is it? New Hampshire, Massachusetts. Is it Massachusetts, isn't it? It's Massachusetts. I remember now because, wow, it's actually some distance, guys. I remember now because the Bee Gees wrote that song, Massachusetts. It's a great song. It's about a mining incident in Massachusetts. Is that the one? I think. Oh, no, that's another song. The something mining thing of such and such. That was called. Right, anyway. But, so, let's, let me see. Voyager. Voyage. If I wanted to get out of it, get back. If I wanted to go. I haven't used Google Earth for a long time, actually. Map. So, if I wanted to go. Is it clever enough that if I put distance from Ohio to Massachusetts. I probably haven't even spelled that correctly, have I? Let's give that a go. Nah, it's not that clever. But anyway, there's Ohio. Columbus, Ohio. That's very famous. Oh, look, Chicago's only up there. See, it always amazes me. Cleveland, of course, Cleveland, Ohio. Always amazes me how close everything is. I mean, relatively, like next door. Like Virginia. I always think of Virginia and Carolina as like really down. I know they're in the south, but like really south. And yet here they are, neighboring Pennsylvania and New Jersey and Washington. So I find it fascinating. It's like when I go to London, or certainly when I used to go to London as a kid, and you know all these famous places, Buckingham Palace and Windsor Castle and Tottenham Court Road, and all these places, Oxford Street, and you just imagine them like miles apart, but you can like walk them. It's like 10-minute walk from. It's like, whoa, wow. Always amazes me. Google Maps. I am determined to find the distance. So, there we go. Look at that. It's remembered. Wow. Ohio, which is a state, of course. Ohio to Massachusetts. Let's have a butcher's hook. What's it going to show us here? Oh, you can drive it in 11 hours. That's not, well, I mean, I wouldn't want to drive for 11 hours, but that's not too bad. Hour and 50 minutes on plane. £166, Sam. This is the thing. These American internal flights, it would cost you twice that to get to London on a freaking train in the UK. And about the same time to get to London. But there you go. So you could drive up through Cleveland, Buffalo into New York. And then there you go. And then into Worcester. Do you pronounce it Worcester? Do you guys pronounce it Worcester, or do you pronounce it Worcester? In the UK, we pronounce Worcester, or Worcester, as Worcester. Yeah, there you go. 5 hours and 60 quid. 5 hours on drive to Swansea is about what? It's about a 5 hour drive though, Sam, isn't it? I'm trying to think. Oh, maybe it isn't. Bristol hour and a half, another half an hour to cross over to Wales. So that's 2 hours, and then maybe an hour and a half to Swansea. 2 hours. 2 hours to get from Massachusetts to Ohio, says Ryan. On what? On a car, mind you. It looks like they did take a bit of a. Looks like it took a bit of a road journey. What about that route? That route there, then. Scranton. Yeah, The Office. Doobie 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 doo 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 doo. Scranton. There it is. Look at that. Is that not also where Biden's from? Always makes me chuckle that he's from The Office. Well, not literally, but you know, the place. A 2.5-hour drive. Yeah, trains are pathetic in the UK. That's because they privatised them. But they did a half-assed job, didn't they? So they privatised them, but the government still dictates the routes and the timetables, and they prop them up so they never make a loss. Crazy. So there you go, guys. So if you were thinking. So Adam says it should only take you... Sorry, Ryan says it should only take 2 hours. What? It can't be 2 hours driving, though. Surely you mean flight, don't you? If, I mean, this looks a relatively direct route, although it isn't going via toll booths, but the toll booths takes longer. And this is their fastest route with the known traffic conditions. I mean, you presumably could take is that the 90? I wish they would zoom the icons in as you go in. Trains are ridiculous. They absolutely are, my friend. My daughter was stuck in Manchester the other day after 2 cancellations. Yep. Yeah, my girls have all but given up using the trains, which requires the Rokk burr to go and pick them up. Rokk burr. Damn them. In fact, I said no to little Rokk this afternoon. I think she's a bit upset. She'd gone to her friend's house. I had to wait at home because we had National Windscreens come round to repair a chip to the windscreen of the Rockmobile over the weekend. What they call a bullet hole, little damage. So anyway, I had to wait in for the National Windscreens man to arrive to fix the windscreen. So she toddled off to her friend Maria's. And then I got a text saying, could you pick me up around 4:30, please, Dad? I said, no. I've got a show. I'm tough. Oh, what about 4? No. How about you jump on the bus? And then she was like, okay, I'll catch the train. This is like a 40-minute walk. So, all right, whatever. Oh, I missed the train. And I don't want to walk because I got catcalled and I don't like it. And it's fair. I mean, that you shouldn't be doing that these days, guys. Not in, the women don't like it. You're not impressing ladies by whistling at them and saying lewd things. I promise you that in my estimation, nobody ever got married from a catcall except for me. Aha! Turn that one on its head. This is true because I wasn't the catcaller. When I met Mrs. Rokk back in 1986, right, it was just 2 days before Christmas. And it goes how Ray met his wife the same. But I bet Ray was catcalling. The group of female friends catcalled me because I was dressed up as a cowboy. It was a fancy dress disco we were going to. It was then, you may know this, Sam, it was way before your time, but it's quite famous. A place called Tiffany's down on the quay in Exeter. Since closed, it's now a bar and restaurant. And I was dressed as a cowboy. And from down 4th Street, which Sam will know, I heard, "Oi, cowboy, show us your weapon." Now, I was a little bit scared of this, but I duly clocked and noted the gang of ladies. And I think we bumped into them in a pub and I got chatting. And anyway, one thing led to another. And here we are, 32 years later or whatever it is. Show us your weapon, I know. Here we are, all this time later, I'm now married. I have to say, it wasn't Mrs. Rokk who shouted out. It was a girl called Melanie, who we've not seen for many, many years. Mrs. Rokk is quite a shy and timid lady, true. Which is why she's not on social or anything. But, yeah, either way, it did the job. So there have been times. And Ray's story, I bet Ray actually did the catcalling. I bet that was Ray. I bet that was him. Anyway, there you go. Look at that. Do you remember we did that little map back along, didn't we? Showing where everybody lived. And of course, Ray's over here in the San Francisco, the Bay Area, as they call it. And I was down here on the Keys recently, all the way down there, Key West, doing my thing. Of course, they've got hideous weather. It's that season coming up again, isn't it? September, October time. Down on the Keys and then Florida and so on, all around here on the East Coast, they get nasty hurricanes. Did you know, ladies and gentlemen, did you know, this is a fact, if there's a massive storm in the Atlantic, it is called a hurricane. But if the same storm happens over here in the Pacific, it's called a typhoon. There's no difference between them. That is literally there's a typhoon if it's in the Pacific, it's a hurricane if it's in the Atlantic. So typhoons on the West Coast, hurricanes on the East Coast. There you go. Ray was probably out stealing local cats. Is this a new meme that I've missed out on again, Sam? Because I'm forever missing these, like, sus and stuff. He's a pervert, apparently, according to Sam. Oh dear. Oh dear. Poor old Ray. I don't think he's a pervert. Can't wait for next month. We'll be off to Portugal. Oh, I love Portugal. For a week. Yeah. Oh, Eddie. Such nice people in Portugal. We've been a few times. I prefer Portugal to Spain. No problem with Spain. Lovely people in Spain. Love Spain. Beautiful country. But there's something a bit... Portugal to me reminds me of Cornwall. I guess that's my closest analogy in the UK. So you can come to Devon and we welcome you with open arms. But it's a little bit more sophisticated than Cornwall. Cornwall's very rugged and it's raw and it's just nature. And I see the same between most of Spain, or certainly the touristy areas of Spain and Portugal. Very nice, says Sam. What's the weather like there in October? It's okay. I think we've been out in October. I mean, I think if you go April, May, and then September, October, you're still going to get great weather, and you're going to miss that big tourist bump, plus the really ridiculously hot weather. I think they're good times. Algarve, yes, love the Algarve. Love it, mate. You'll have a fantastic time. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Banish the Blues Monday. Have you seen my thumbnail for tomorrow? Oh, dear. I've been trying to, because as I said to you guys, I'm doing Monday and Tuesday this week because Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm on the road. And as much as I always say I'll try and do a show, it actually never really works. So I thought I'd do Monday and Tuesday. And then I thought, well, I can't keep calling them the same thing. So, I thought, what can I call them? So I came up with Banish the Blues, Banish the Monday Blues. And then tomorrow is Super Tuesday with it. Look at Super Rokk. This is true. I asked AI to draft an old-aged Superman, and then I put my head over the top. Hence why he has little arms and a chubby belly. Super Tuesday. Look at him. Oh, bless him. Poor little Rokk. So tomorrow is Super Tuesday. I have no idea what that means, by the way. It's going to be what it's going to be. I couldn't have forecast that today would have been AI Monday, but it has, pretty much. Who knows what tomorrow will be? But we'll have fun, whatever it is. That's what the show's all about, isn't it, ladies and gents? A little bit of a chill out. That's how I see it. A little bit of a chill. Oh, the funniest thing is, I wonder if I've still got it. Let me just, talking of AI, let me see if I think it was Runway. Yes, it was. I think I'm still logged in. So let's have a look at this. Projects. I asked Runway to animate that picture. All I wanted was the water to do a bit of this and his cape to flap about. That's all I wanted. I just said, can you just do this? I don't know if it's going to be able to... I was hoping I would still have my previous... because it was abysmal, and I need to show you for you to appreciate how awful it was. See that I've got 53 seconds left. This is the problem with these things. This is free, by the way. It's called Runway. It's a very popular app. It does stuff like video to video, text or images to video, remove backgrounds. It's actually a really, really good service. But I need to find... This is me. Have I got my workspace? Create work. Let's have a look. A lot of these do keep the work that you've done. Maybe this one doesn't. It was awful. I actually gave it a 1 star out of 5 and told them that it was awful. Generate images. No. Videos, maybe. Where are my videos? My account. Workspace. I did try workspace. It's not what you think. ML Lab. Nope, something completely different. But it was so funny. I mean, to be fair, I could just do it again and show you how bad it was. So if we go to generate videos, text image to video, select from assets. So we choose. I just want to make sure I don't have my original ones here. I didn't do these. These aren't. I don't think they're anything to do with me. So let's do image plus description. Here we are. I'll pull in Super Rokk, as I've called him. And then we're going to put just something really simple. Make cape flap gently, waves very gently undulate. Then, let's make the arms slightly moving. And nothing else moves. Right. So I thought, can't go wrong with this. I know it's going to do the same thing again. We'll watch this together, guys. I'll generate it. It takes about a minute. It doesn't take very long. I mean, that's one of the super impressive things. If you think about the time, you imagine, and it won't be long before you will be able to make films of Star Wars 1 quality, right? You imagine the amount of time and effort that has unto now been taken in creating Pixar animations and and stuff. And they would literally, in the old school computing, they would do their 3D CGI stuff and they'd have to leave it to render for days, even weeks, only to find that they've chosen the wrong texture or something. It happened all the time. And here, look, in 60 seconds, we can generate about 30 seconds of animation. But I'm hoping it's going to do exactly the same, because I did try 2 or 3 times. I gave up in the end. Is the Starfield giveaway? Utke! Is the Starfield giveaway ended? I think it's Wednesday. I'll need to check. Winners haven't been picked yet. I will check. I ran it on 2 different services, and one of them ended with 0 entries. This has been by far my worst ever giveaways. It's one of the reasons I've stopped doing them now, because I think people have just got bored of it. But I will check. I'll check after this, my friend. If it has, I saw that one and it said it had ended, but I did that one later, about halfway through the giveaway, just to see if I could generate more interest. 0. All right, look at him. He's put weight on him for a start. Hang on. All right, we'll zoom in. Look at poor little Rokk. He's been made really fat. Let's see what remember, all we asked it to do, I'll check after, mate. All we asked it to do was to flap his cape a bit and make the water move. Let's see what it's done. Ready? Look, it's turned into Russell Crowe with an erection. What the hell is that? He's mumbling like a drunk. You see my point, right? Why did the AI feel it necessary? I got worse earlier, Sam. Earlier, his face zoomed in, and it wasn't even me. It was like, oh, bizarre. Look at that. That's how it... Oh, see, this is the weird thing. The first 1 or 2 seconds is pretty much what I asked for. This is what I found earlier. So the first couple of seconds were not far off. He does. He looks a drunk Friar Tuck. He looks like that. It looks like that. What's his face? We looked at Russell Crowe the other day. And his cape's like he's got it on a bit of metal. Wow. It's a work in progress, right? 10 years later. You're right. It's exactly what's going on there, Neil. So funny. And that is, as I say, that's why I gave up in the end. I did several of them, and I just didn't bother in the end. Make cape flap gently. Waves very gently undulate. Arms slightly moving. Nothing else moves. It's... oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Anyway, it's fun, isn't it? You could do that. I tell you what, you could do a show just doing AI, generative video stuff and images. People would love it. Not quite ready for Hollywood. No, you're not going to be putting any Star Wars. I tell you what, I will give you one little tip, guys, before we call it a day. Go and check out, I think it's Ideogram. Ideogram is a free service, unlike Midjourney and the others, the other generative image. This is a new in beta free service, and it does amazing work. I tell you what, if you do nothing else but have a look at what other people are creating, you will be in stitches. Some of the stuff that's been... Now, what sets it apart from the others is text. The others can't do text. They're awful at it. This one does really, really good text. Sarcasm loading. But look at old Trump with a pumpkin head. Star Wars, my boss is an ass. It's brilliant. Some of the senses of humour are brilliant. Good morning, Dobby's mega... But the quality, look at the quality of the imagery. I'd rather be crafting. Look at that. That photo. Stunning. We'll create memes for food. It's called Ideogram AI. I'll type it in this box and then I'll zoom in. Ideogram.ai. The thing with all of these is to try and get in when they're free so you can play with them. Whoops, there you go. Look at the detail when you zoom in though. So what this one does that others don't do, where'd that go? Sorry. Is one text brilliantly, and the other is it will create logos as well. So if you put in a logo for an ice cream parlor in an upmarket shopping mall, right? And we'll put let's see, what other options have we got here? We'll do poster, and we'll do illustration, and no, leave that. That should be enough. All right, generate. It really doesn't take too long. It gives you 4 options, and they come up quite quickly, so you'll get to see them happening as it's doing the work, as it renders them. And then you can choose the one you like, and if you want, you can get it to... I mean, they're not brilliant, to be fair. But we could say, for example, choose the one that says they're still generating. It's about 70, 80. Here we go. It'll be finished in a second. 93. So we could say they're all right, but they're not brilliant. So you can either click on one of these and get it to regenerate. So it's still generating here, look. Or you can change the thing. All right, so I'm not totally convinced. So I'm going to click remix, like in Little Mix, and generate. Now, it'll now take that one as the root, as a new base, and it will come up with 4 options that evolve from there, which is very clever. And the secret to all of these things, there you go. So you gradually, you can keep doing this forever, and you're gradually getting something that's closer to a nice professional quality logo in 30 seconds. Fiverr, goodbye. Now this one, I think is looking really good. I also like this one on the far right, the way that the cone is blending in, like that's pretty cool. I like that. This one I think this one's got legs. This one could look quite nice. But you know, you can just go again and look how sharp it is now. Look, it's literally, and you can zoom right in. That's the quality of this thing. Isn't that amazing? I love this program. At the moment, as I say, it's free, Ideogram. They've had something like $16 million worth of funding from investors, and they've all come together from various AI companies. So it's real creme de la creme. Let's get quantumly high. A young servant man wearing short pants, suspenders, no jacket. Interesting, it's gone for that look. This one's lovely, this Instagram thing. I've seen a lot of people do things like Stan Lee meeting Superman and things like that, which are really nice. A beautiful, detailed, real picture taken by some of this stuff's not needed. In fact, if you just put in a beautiful Indian girl on a swing with Blossom, it will have come up with the same image. But a lot of them are taking the prompts from the older systems, which need to be a bit more. The words of we choose today shape our world tomorrow. Absolutely. A Pixar poster. Fishing for likes. Love it. Love it. Look at that old Highland cow. Cat. WTF. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So yeah, have fun with this one. Ain't no party like a communist party. I love that. Karl Marx as a DJ. Wow. That is so funny. Little fish. Look at this dude. 3D cartoon of a cute yet angry emoji-style halved avocado. He's well unhappy. Brilliant. Santa Claus arrested. Forrest Gump. A movie poster for a Disney Pixar with visible prominent text in full view. So they're a Pixar version of Forrest Gump. Do you know what? I had as much fun just reading what other people have come up with. Granite, how are you, dude? Great to see. Oh yeah, happy Labor Day. I was forgetting it's Labor Day for you guys. I hope you've all had a great day, or having a great day. Of course, most of you have still got the rest of it to go. But yeah, I just love reading what other people have come up with. Duck Vader. Oh, they're so funny. Some of them are just genius. Santa Claus and a Halloween. Bald white male, strong as a Jedi with his hood up. Oh, that's nice. Look at that one. A magnified image of spilt nail polish with glitter. Pope Kid. Oh, brilliant. Ghetto stories. Just great fun. Oh, look at this. Fascinating you are. That's lovely. A movie poster, half Mr. Spock and half Yoda. Just does such an amazing job. Just gorgeous. What's going on here? Bald Suge Knight, whatever that is, sleeping with teddy bears while wearing pink fluffy slippers. Anyway, look at that. Batman. Batman is Iron Man. Wow. Oh yeah, you can see that. He's got his Iron Man chest. An ancient Indian Hindu bearded Brahmin saint preparing a Ayurvedic medicine. Anyway, we can go on forever here, ladies and gents. Go and have fun. Enjoy that yourselves. And just put stuff in. And the beauty is whatever you come up with is a really high quality image. So you can print it off and use it in your artworks and stuff. And as I say, for now at least, it is free. As all of these tend to be when they're in their beta stage. But at some point they'll start. They can't do it for free, as we mentioned earlier. It's just the cost of the credits and stuff from Microsoft Azure and Amazon Web Services and so on. So at some point they have to. Then they're riding on investment at the moment, so they can throw it out there. Going to give Animaze a go tomorrow. Yeah, Animaze is on my little list as well. Animaze is very good. Animaze, of course, as you know, is the little facial thing that I showed to you guys on Friday. That's really cool, and it's free to download. And then you can just use that on your camera. I just think anybody that doesn't want to use their face should be using something like this. It just makes it more engaging and more fun. Right, I'm out of here. Thank you so much, guys. That was a great show. I enjoyed that one. Giving you little thoughts and insights into the sort of thing that I'm constantly looking at. I'm wanting to create more pre-recorded content of value. This is the key thing. I don't want it to just look like a bunch of rubbish B-roll images and and a dodgy voice. It's got to be valuable. And I've even today I've made breakthroughs in terms of how I can do some stuff. So thank you. I will see you all tomorrow for Super Tuesday. Have a cracking Labor Day. And I will see all you guys on the marrow. Take care.